Tess Luthor had finally made it into her office at the Daily Planet after the kryptonite had finally been carted away. She knew the vigilante that Lois was so eagerly helping was not Clark Kent. This had to be Clark Luthor. Clark Kent was way too humble to depend on other people to do the dirty work for him. As she tried to figure out how to prove it was really Clark Luthor, Malcolm Malone walked into her office. Tess, not in the mood for Malone's games, asked did he come to steal from the Daily Planet or was he just interested in stealing from mansions. Malone closed the door and smiled. He said since neither of them had time for him to beat around the bush, he admitted to sending a team to Luthor Mansion to acquire an object that didn't belong to her family anyway. Tess said, "You got your object. What do you need from me?" Malone said, "Actually, we didn't acquire the object we needed, but we are past that point right now." He needed to know if the alien Lois was helping was really someone else or Tess's brother in disguise. Tess asked, why did it matter? Malone answered that if it was Luthor, she could help Malone stop him. Tess asked, why would I help you? Malone said, because no one here respects you. No one here even likes you. All you have ever done is look for other people's approval, and you will never get it because of your association with a known homicidal maniac. And now that maniac is fooling the public into trusting him so he can get rid of the only thing that can control him. Tess asked, why do you care so much? Malone said, let's just say I have a score to settle, and your brother's death will settle it. Tess replied, Lois said your weapon will level the entire city. Malone asked Tess, do you really trust Lois to understand complicated engineering plans? Although Malone was most likely right, Tess still didn't trust him. She asked him, what did he need from her? Malone said, meet with Luthor. He was definitely trying to take the kryptonite somewhere. If you can stall him, I can get it back. At the Kent farm in Smallville, Jonathan Kent, Clark Luthor, and Jack locked the collected kryptonite in the barn. Jack said, now we need to figure out how to get all of that to Princeton and quickly. Malone definitely knows we have it and we'll figure out where we're hiding it soon. Clark said he couldn't believe they gathered everything so quickly. His original idea was to get help from Virgil Swan's people to just track it all down. It was Lois's idea to make a plea to the public. Jonathan said maybe Virgil Swan's people could help us get access to the tokamak. Clark said it would definitely be better than trying to smuggle a barn's worth of kryptonite into a secured government facility. Jonathan's phone rang. Clark quipped that it was probably his warden checking in. He and Jack laughed. Jonathan answered the phone and spoke briefly into it. He hung up, looked at Clark and said, my warden just invited you to dinner. Jack laughed at Clark.